Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the film The Face of Another, which is a Japanese film produced in 1966. An engineer, he had an occupational related accident and he had severe burns on his face to the point of being disfigured. Then he felt lots of distress because of that, of course. Even his wife rejected him and couldn't stand looking at his face, and he had to wear bandages all the time on his face to hide his wounds from everyone, and he felt really lonely and depressed with all this situation. Then he went to a psychiatrist who suggested to make a kind of mask for him so he could have a better quality of life, and if this engineer, if he was willing to receive this mask. He accepted that, and then the psychiatrist made the mask for him with the help of his nurse. And then the psychiatrist asked the engineer to report his feelings and sensations, because the psychiatrist was a little bit reluctant with this experience, in fear that the mask would change the engineer's personality. However, as time passed, the psychiatrist realized that the mask was indeed changing the engineer's personality. Then the engineer, he acted as if he were a completely new man. He didn't tell anyone he had received this prosthetic mask. He told his wife that he would travel on business, and he said in his workplace that he preferred to work remotely. And then he rented an apartment nearby, and he started having a completely different life. Then he continued to be in touch with his psychiatrist, reporting his sensations, how he was feeling. And the dialogues throughout the film are all related to that, this thing of wearing masks in society, if it changed a person's personality, and if it was worth it, if people did it or not. The dialogues are very deep. Then, being very upset that his wife rejected him, the engineer, he wanted to seduce his wife, posing as a total stranger, so he would test his wife's loyalty. Unfortunately to him, he got to seduce his wife very easily. She didn't recognize him at all. And then he was very angry. He told her everything. He told his wife who he was, and she told him that she knew that all along, since the first moment, and she was just playing along. But we can see that the wife got deeply disturbed. The engineer asked his wife for another chance in their relationship, but the wife refused. She was still disturbed with her husband's face, and then she left. And then, in this new apartment where the engineer was living alone, he was only recognized as the old fellow with the bandages by a girl with special necessities who lived in the building, and she had seen him in bandages once. And when the guy appeared with the mask, she knew it was the same person. Other than this girl, his workmates, his wife, his old friends, no one recognized the engineer after he started wearing the mask. And then we can see that the engineer's personality became more unstable and violent. And he even tried to rape a woman on the street, and he was immediately arrested by the police. He told to the policeman that he was no one, that they could arrest him, but inside his jacket, in the pocket, it was found the business card of his psychiatrist. The psychiatrist went to the police and told the policeman that this guy was his patient and that he wasn't violent. The engineer didn't seem to be grateful or sympathetic in any way. The psychiatrist got alarmed and he asked his mask back. The engineer told that he would not return the mask, and the psychiatrist said it was okay because the engineer was now a free man and that he should act as a free man. And then, when they were saying goodbye, the engineer stabbed him to death. And then we can see in the end of the film many people walking on the street wearing masks, which is a reference to social masks that we all wear every day. And we also have a parallel story in this film of a very beautiful woman who worked in a psychiatric ward, and most of the inmates, they were veterans of World War II. She had a very beautiful face on her left side, but her right side was seriously disfigured and ugly. And then she lived with her brother, and she always asked her brother if there was any danger of a war happening soon, if the peace was really real, and if there was any war about to happen. And the brother said, no, there's no war about to happen. Apparently it's okay. And then once she looks at the sea and asks her brother if he remembered the sea of Nagasaki, which is probably a reference to the atomic bombings in Nagasaki. And it seems that she got her scars on the right side of her face due to the bombings. And this girl, even though she didn't know the engineer, she had a completely different life, but she also felt alone and disconnected from the society because of her disfigurement. She worked, she had a common life, but she wasn't happy about it, of course. And then in the end of the film, we can see she walking towards the sea, and it's implied that she was taking her own life. The film is very interesting, it's very deep in the dialogues, in the situations, about the fact that sometimes we have to lie socially, and sometimes those lies, if we wear those social masks too much, our personality changes and we even become a bad person without any sense of morality. If we give in to bad values, if we give in to bad things. It's really a one-of-a-kind film, and it's considered sci-fi. And the discussions they promote there, they never get old. It's something that can be understood in any era, in any culture, and it's really worth it. Some scenes of the film seem disturbing here and there, but it's something very brief. The film has a bit pessimistic tone, but the discussions promoted by the film are realistic, and I really recommend this film. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you!